Welcome back, Truth Warriors. I hope you're doing well. I still have a few more days in my timeout on YouTube on Dia Dash. I think I have another 5 days in YouTube jail. So pathetic. So I'm uploading a little bit on my other channels. I'm going to go into that book, Double Speak. I see that people really appreciate that book. That's great. And so I'll continue to do that. I do like doing law videos and history, go into the Bible. I go into various things. Holistic medicine is key too. And it's really important that we inspire each other every day. I think that's what the Most High wants us to do, because it's easy to want to help someone, right? Or want to be generous when you're doing good. But the Most High tests us, guys, when we're in the thick of it. When we're in the trenches, it's like, just when you think it can't get worse, something else happens. Or just when you're having a good couple of days, right? Then the drama gotta stop. It's like it's like hot and cold, right? So it's really hard to keep yourself grounded. You know, sometimes you gotta you get so frustrated, you gotta shed a tear once in a while just to release, get it out. Hence, of course, I too am speaking for myself. These past few days, I see how people have been treating each other, and it's so embarrassing, guys. But just know that when you're seeking this knowledge, you're going to get all kind of bullshit. And I think the Most High wants to see, like, what you're made of. If you're going to fold, if you're going to just cry and moan. I mean, it's okay for us to cry, but, like, don't stay there. And today has just been like straight trash. Shout out to selling stuff on Marketplace on these online forums. I just gotta say, guys, some of these buyers are so stuck up. It's really annoying, because I sacrificed half my day yesterday. I had a piece I was gonna sell. Buyers seem interested, but you know how they don't give you a time, they kind of let you float. And I was trying to be considerate, so I pushed another person aside, because first come, first serve. I was trying to be fair. But, like, screw that. It's like whoever, it's like first come, first take. Because my ringer was off for a few minutes. I didn't know, guys. So, like, this lady, okay, now all of a sudden she was up and ready. And she was outside my house. I didn't know. It was just a few minutes. I call right back. She is all annoyed with me. She's like, we'll come back later, we got things to do. Like, she's probably gonna blow me off now. Like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Denise out there, if I ruined your life, right? I am just so sorry, Denise, that I ruined your life, because you didn't care about my 5 hours yesterday that was thrown in the trash, and I was still being a good sport, and I was still going to hold the item for you, right? And it's like, okay, when they're available, they'll blow you up, and then it's like, if you're not there to click your heels. And I was giving her a discount. I'm good. I could just sell it full value. If she blows me off today, well then, fuck it then, right? Not worried about it. But again, it's like I was typing up something. I'm about to go hit the post office right now to mail something. So I'm going to just show you this Corpus, Juris, Secundum. It's so hard to find, guys. You see how much... If this stuff wasn't true, right? I'm just saying. Why would that shit be almost $50,000? You see these prices? I just wanted to show you. Because I actually took a reference, but I couldn't find the actual page, because somebody was referencing, even though they didn't want to show, they were reading from this book, but they were hiding the name of the book in the video, and I was like, that is just so annoying. So I like looked around on like certain letters, because he had parts of the name, but I could surmise that it was the Corpus, Juris, Secundum. I mean, there are some PDFs online, guys. It's not like it's easy to find. It wasn't the one exactly that I was trying to show you guys. Let me see where I was. That's the one action rule. It's not what I was reading from. Hold on. I was reading from this, because you know, this is just a website that will give you parts of it. I mean, if you can find it. But I was learning a lot about like trust stuff, and we can learn because a lot of us are learning about trust and the nature of things. And you got this Corpus, Juris, Secundum, book 90, speaks about trust on page 822, section, I know it's all like chopped up how it's written, enforcing execution or performance of duties of trust. Where the trust has been declared, can you even see this? This is like really hard to bring up. I know, I'm like, this is like stupid, but I'll read it to you. Where the trust has been declared or established, or the trustee has accepted the trust, equity, as long as it is possible for it to do so, will not permit the trustee to defeat the trust by his wrongful acts or refusal or failure or refusal to act, but it will enforce the execution or performance of the trust. Equity will not compel a trustee to take on himself the burdens of a trust, but where the trust has been declared or established, or the trustee has accepted the trust, equity, as long as it is possible for it to do so, will not permit the trustee to defeat the trust by his wrongful acts, or failure or refusal to act, but will accord relief by compelling a faithful execution of the trust for the preservation and enforcement of rights depending on and derivable from it, even though the directions contained in the instrument creating the trust may seem to be fanciful or unwise, provided the person seeking the execution of the trust complies with any conditions precedent imposed by the trust instrument. In other words, like no matter how ridiculous just trust sounds, the trust document, what's in it, that's why composing your declaration of trust, you want to really be mindful of what you put in there, because that's what becomes law. They literally will go verbatim what is in that trust instrument. You understand? So what you put in the declaration and the trust agreement is how it will be governed. The trust will be governed when it's delegated, okay, thereafter. Thus, a court of equity may, in a proper case, compel a trustee to make payments to the beneficiaries to apply the trust fund or property to the purposes for which the trust was created, to refund money misappropriated, to transfer or convey the trust property and properly execute a deed, therefore, or to make a sale of the trust property according to the terms of the trust, and it may compel the execution of a power in trust. Similarly, relief will be accorded in equity against the trustee who attempts to hold the property and disclaim the trust, or who refuses to take proper steps for the protection of the trust property. This is a good reference. I'm actually going to write this down in my little... Oh boy, I love it, guys. This is great. This is great. I'm going to put it right on my document after I read this to you. This is a good resource. This is, a lot of our remedies are also in here too. Equity, right here, because, you know, it's all about the adverse claims they try to do. You know, they need to take proper steps to protect, right, the trust property against adverse claims. Equity will not, however, force a trustee to do an act with respect to the trust property which he cannot do without violating the directions of the trust instrument creating the trust and subjecting himself to liability, nor will it compel him to assume additional burdens not provided for by the trust itself unless imposed by law. The court may construe an instrument creating or declaring a trust, and if necessary, reform it to conform to the settler's intentions. Well, there you go. That's probably why a lot of people are taking court action in these probate courts. I mean, if it comes down to it. Because a lot of them, you know, it's been told you can do this process, probating. Some deal with the U.S. Bankruptcy Court too. There's actually a document I want to send there as well. So, yeah, they can definitely reform whatever it needs to be, you know, from child to, you know, an individual of the age of majority. That makes a lot of sense. So, but only the trust actually created may be enforced, and not such a trust as might or should have been created a con at law. The equitable right of the beneficiary of a trust may not be enforced by an acon at law against the trustee. So when you're like, acon, what is that? One action rule. One action rule when you hear acon. One action rule at law. The equitable right of the beneficiary of a trust may not be enforced by an acon at law against the trustee. An acon at law will lie, however, against a trustee in favor of a sesta K or Satake or Satake. Some people say ses, some people say Satake. Satake trust. So to recover, so they have to go in favor of the trust to recover money due and available to the sete or seste or sete from the trust estate where the amount thereof is certain. Of course is certain. And you're like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't know, right? I had it up and then it went away. Legal definition. Legal definition. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Equitable interest. He who has a right to a beneficial interest in and out of an estate. So dictionary at law is pretty good for that. I gotta go, guys, because post office is about to close on my ass and I gotta send this out. I know, as I waited for this damn individual, this lady, this Denise character, anyone named Denise, man, they're fresh. It can be so fresh. I've noticed that. Spicy individuals. So right here, he used frequently in composition in law, French phrases. Satake or sestake trust. He who has a right to a beneficial interest in and out of an estate. The legal title. So who has the legal title? The guardians. The gatekeepers. That's why we need to terminate these gatekeepers. You know, if they can fork it over. That's what we've been saying. To which is vested in another. So you have some references there. The person who possesses the equitable right to property and receives the rent, issues, and profits thereof. The legal estate of which is vested in the trustee. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I will write that in my information. I know, we could freaking sign cesti beneficiary even. You know, you gotta get creative. You can do beneficial owner, whatever the hell you want. I'm about to print that bad boy out, guys. I like that. I like that a lot. Where was I at? And that acon thing, that's a one action rule. I was reading that before. because they say they rather foreclose than take you to court to take your money, because it's like too much work and effort. I mean, it's so sad how they conspire against people like that. You know, it's really gross. So I'm writing this on my paperwork. I have something that I'm sending out. So you see how it's just good to have references like with whatever terms. Also, I'm going to put Anne's book 90. I know I shouldn't be writing on these forms. I like writing in black ink on government forms, right? And then signing in blue ink. They can be damned. And I put stamps on the back of my documents too. Yep, I am old school. That is how I learned it. And that is how I am doing it. And even if it's like so confusing for them and they're like, what? I just cited so many laws, right? When they get your paperwork, and you know, that's why when I work with people and if I help with any paperwork or whatever, I will cite the laws too, and I will give these agents so much homework. They'll be like, what is she talking about? Oh yeah, well, you gotta look it up. That's your homework. How about that? Because you can't act like you didn't know after you were informed, right? Because, you know, you can't play ignorant after you've been told. And that's why a lot of people act like, you know, oh, they don't want to know, because they think in some manner they're going to be like exonerated for that. But it's like, yeah, no, I don't think that's going to end well. But that's how a lot of people are playing it. So this Corpus, Juris, Secundum, you see that, the notes, Corpus, Juris, Secundum. This is a great reference, and in book 90, it's really hard to find, guys. You see how expensive it is. I just found this little snippet I wanted to read to you, just to show you there are some great references out there, and you can always, like, you know, if anything, I could, like, try to take a screenshot, and I could, you know, use this, and like I just did in my document, you know, even though it was hard to read, but you can see the price. I mean, if this stuff wasn't important, you know, and it's cited and quoted as authority in courtrooms across the country. I mean, it's a big deal. A national legal encyclopedia covers state and federal legal topics from A to Z. General rules of law are summarized in black letter law headings and expanded upon in the text. The book also provides the limitations and exceptions to the rules where appropriate. Okay, so it's amazing. The text is cited more than 90,000 times, guys, by all levels of courts throughout the United States. So, okay, this one's from Thompson West. Imagine that. This is right here, that's a house payment. More, right? Look at that, 50 grand, alright? This is how they try to hide the knowledge, so we just stay so impoverished in our mind. A lot of people have a poverty mindset and they cannot get out of, and they're literally like tearing each other apart. And we have more consideration for animals, guys, because a lot of people have a lot of fear, and you know, a lot of people have been really aggressive around me, and it's made me have to feel like I have to defend myself. And just, you know, if you look up, like, you know, what would cause aggression in dogs, you know, you would be surprised, but when you see it in someone else, you think, oh, they just have an attitude problem or whatever, or when they're, you know, vice versa, right? So look what fear can do to an animal, and don't tell me that we don't all have the same frequency from above, right? So we all work on this frequency. So fear, what can it do to you? It can easily develop aggressive behavior. Most dogs only exhibit aggressive behavior if they sense that they are in danger, cannot escape, and feel the need to defend themselves. For example, this may occur if a dog is backed into a corner with no way out, or if he thinks a hand raised over its head means he is going to get hit. If your dog is a rescue dog that exhibits aggressive or fearful behavior more than is normal, it may have been abused, neglected, experienced a traumatic event, or not properly socialized as a puppy. any information you can get from the organization, you know. So a lot of rescue dogs have this, and you don't understand, like most people nowadays, right? We have such a crazy past, and then when someone's giving us yet more bullshit, right, like provoking us, of course, you know, you're gonna get super, of course, pain, you know, disease. It can make them snappy, bitey. No, people don't understand that. They just take it for what it is, right? This goes to reasons why dogs get aggressive, showing dominance, frustration when you're frustrated, fear, and illness. Right now, fear is making people freaking nuts, okay? Nuts, and then taking it out on each other, and it's like, I ain't the one, because I've been through so much, right? And so it'll make me defensive. So I'm usually a very, very relaxed person. I mean, some people who don't get along with me will say, oh no, she's so aggressive, she's so this, she's so that. Yeah, if you don't feel if you're around a narcissistic pig, if you're around a vampiric soul-sucking entity, yeah, you're gonna come across as aggressive because you don't feel safe in your own skin. You can't even be around yourself, these people. You'll feel your stomach tighten up. You'll feel like sick. You'll feel like you can't even stand their voice anymore, because they're always like, you know, picking on you, or they're always like looking at everything half empty. Meanwhile, they're more than empty. They don't even have the half, and they got the gall to project that onto other people, right? And instead of looking at their own situation, how they can be better for those around them, and they don't see their toxic behavior. And this can go for family, this can go for partners, this can go for whatever, right? So if you're feeling it, just know that it's going to happen more and more when you draw into this knowledge, because it's like we are upsetting the demonic realm. So we're going to get a lot of dots thrown back our way, guys. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you're an empath, if you're the black sheep, you already know, like, what else can they do to us? You know, you already been through everything, hell and back, right? What else can be done? There is no need to fear, right? And so when people are doing this to you or whatever, just, you know, I am learning too, because I had a situation yesterday. I just shut down. I'm like, you're not doing it to me. Like, go fight with yourself. Not doing it or whatever. And I got a little defensive, but I'm like, if you got me to that point, then you're trash. Then you're toxic. Because I do a lot of things out of love. I'm really, really chill. I don't like to get aggressive, because actually it makes me sick. Like, you know, just because you can fight doesn't mean that you don't suffer injuries, right, while you're fighting also. Doesn't mean, you know what I mean, you can take it, but at the same time, you also have to be hurt as well to a point too. So I rather try not to, because they're still extracting your energy, guys, that could be used doing this stuff, and this is what I've been doing. And even you know what I mean, that's why I'm not sweating that customer, because I was putting this document together that I'm right now gonna go mail out right now, guys, right now. And I was getting this document together, and I guess the phone was off, but I was, you know how it is, like when you don't realize the level of focus, guys, right, that can, that it takes for this, right, like you almost like have to shut your ear off to everything else. You get like the selective hearing. And so, and I guess my ringer was off too, guys, so I wasn't looking at the phone. And so I'm like, figures, because I'm doing something super, super important. It's because I'm trying to, here I am, get myself to a good situation. I had people in my circle who were just so sweet to me a few days ago, like I was the best thing, right? And then the next day, it's like, then they'll start acting like you're the damn devil. The damn devil, guys. And it can be really hurtful. But God got you. As long as you got the Most High on your side, you know what I mean? Who can stand against you? Just do what pleases Him. Don't worry about it. And that's why I come on, even if it's for a few minutes. I'll go into that double speak book. But this is also another good reference too. Because since all you bookworms that are on my Alpha 7 channel, you know what I mean? Like, I had some people like bring up that that doublespeak book. They want me to finish it, guys. I'm like, you got it. I'll be on it. So I'll do a video later reading from it, so the next few days. So, you know, doing stuff like that, you know, helping the people, and, you know, helping the next man or woman or child or animal or anything, actually makes you feel better when you're going through hell yourself, because it's easy to have like this self-pity party, but then that can make you really neurotic, and I don't like doing that type of shit. So it takes your mind off of it, and it makes you feel more empowered again. So it's like the Most High is like testing us when we're going through our worst. So, you know, don't let it consume you, guys. I know it can be overwhelming, and I go through it too, and I just hope that you know, he sees our suffering, which I know he does. He sees our suffering, guys. He sees our hard work, and I know that all will be well, right? Just stay the course. So thank you, guys. I'll talk to you soon.